Okay.
Rolling.
Hello everybody. If you don't already know, my name is Miguel Snackson. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about my latest creation, a musical work that I'm choosing to call Tending to the Vulnerable Things. It's been a long journey, or maybe not that long really. All of it happened within the last year. But you know, time, when you fill it with a lot of experience, it seems very long. At that time, I was thinking about making a movie. One of my great friends, Philip Dib, we had been brainstorming about an idea called the story of a melody. Unfortunately, the story of a melody hasn't really taken its shape yet, even though that it's a good idea. But we did some shots where we can see the kind of starting points of some of the songs that ended up getting on this new album, Tending to the Vulnerable Things. During this period, I was approached by DR, or was it actually our PR agent for Rexen that approached DR, which is the Danish Broadcasting Association, who make musical documentaries. And we had an idea to make a documentary, and they wanted to follow the process. During the first interview of that time, the interview took a turn towards something very deep inside me, something very personal, an experience that I had as a young child, where I was incarcerated at an institution, and we agreed to go on a journey, and that they would come to Egypt and come to my home in Denmark and come to my home in Egypt and come to the place that I was going to record it, which was in the Siwa Oasis. For those of you who don't know about the Siwa Oasis, it's a place of legend. It's where Alexander the Great came and realized that he should take over the world at the Oracle, which is still there. It's a place, not a person as far as I understood. It was a place, the Oracle. And it's where Cleopatra had her hot spring baths and got her lovers cleaned before they were allowed to enter into her chambers. Beyond that, there are healing spots, and many people from all around, they come there to be buried in the sand, to heal their bodies. We experienced that the microports, meaning the mics that you clip on when you're filming something, they had constant static on them, and we couldn't find a single frequency that wasn't filled with static. I believe because the groundwater is flowing constantly underneath the Siwa Oasis, creating a kinetic energy that automatically comes up and affects the human body and the animals around there. It was the perfect place for me to end and try to document and record this album that in its base was all about healing, compassion with oneself and with one's loved ones. I had been in Egypt at this time already for 4 months, writing all of the material, and I was really looking forward to seeing my band, thinking about them all the time with each song and how they would attack it and how they would take the material and make it into their own, and giving life to the songs and making them grow and sprout into these beautiful things. In some of these images you can see the fantastic spaces that we recorded this album in. We were very lucky to be able to borrow this place from my good friend Philip's mother. She was so generous to let us borrow this place completely for free. 2 amazing houses about now outside of Siwa, just on the edge of the Sahara Desert, the sea of sand just within reach. Very inspiring. Every little trinket and door and hallway was tended to in a very beautiful manner. While we were there, the Broadcasting Association had sent another person, and every day me and my band were to be interviewed. And not just together, but one by one. And I'm sorry to say that I feel that this person did not have my best interests at heart. I felt like that she wanted me to react negatively, because that would make a better documentary. And I felt like it got worse and worse. Because every time I tried to put a boundary down, it was blown down a little bit by the concept of how important it was to make this documentary. So I kept myself strong. This process of more and more interviews, and me freaking out more and more, and me running off into the desert when I was asked about certain things, feeling like that I was being ground into by a coarse spoon, knife, into my sores, wanting to make them bleed in front of the camera. The furthest away that I can imagine from a therapeutic space. When I was finally alone, I broke down. I sat in the plane on the way to see my family, and I felt the walls cave in on me. I felt the enormous anger that I had been harboring for this person, for this situation that I had put myself in. And I just felt like getting away. Now the album is basically done, and I was visited by my 2 great friends that you might have seen here working in the background, ever strong Tors Universe Jensen and Jakubis Temkevicius, 2 photographers and filmmakers that I've been working together with for years. They came down to visit me, and we packed up the gear and went for an epic journey to cross the Wahiba sands and venture into the mountains where we're sitting today in search of the perfect cover photo. The photo that I wanted, that I had seen before me, for the album Tending to the Vulnerable Things, was something to do with the feeling of the desert being a safe space for me. And I just wanted to have that as a reminder. We've traveled from the north to south in this amazing area of the world, finding many beautiful spots, playing and enjoying music from these areas with the people, just playing them at their leisure, folk music in its real space. And I hope that it can be a part of my binding the bow on this chapter of my life. I would like to say thank you for watching. This is my ghoul Rexen signing off. Your man in the desert. Blessings upon you and your loved ones. Let's back it up.